Hello people, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello people and welcome to Footy Judge Mo, of course. Chelsea to the quarterfinal of another cup trophy. They are chasing the cup glory, of course. Arsenal depth versus Man City depth. That is what we're going to talk about today, of course. The Arsenal depth versus Man City depth. The shining star, of course, Max Dowman. The only positive thing from Arsenal today in the game, of course. Man City depth. Schooling Newcastle has absolutely been amazing today. Omar Marmoush, Dokur, fantastic. Savinho, of course, been amazing. Of course, Kuzanov, John Stones, fantastic performance by Manchester City. And the question is Man City depth better than Arsenal depth? And we got a great panel for you today, guys. This is not going to be long, so hit that like button, guys. If you guys are guys, let's get the likes up a little bit. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We got Winter Surfer in the house, of course. Here we got Tariq Patterson, of course, the City star here, of course, with us. And we got Mr. Dio himself. Dio himself is here, of course, ripping Arsenal. I watched the 3 games. I had to wake, by the way, I was waking up to eat suhoor, and then I stayed up to watch the Arsenal versus Mansfield at 6:15. That's fucking dedication. I deserve a medal for this shit, bro. I deserve a medal for this. I kind of like Kuzina now, to be honest, but I watched it. Hit the like button, people. Subscribe. We're gonna start with Chelsea before we go to Arsenal and City. Did you like the performance today, Surfer? Who watched the Arsenal game first? Who watched even highlights? Who knows what happened?
Yeah,
with Chelsea. I know Winter Surfer watched it. I know probably the other guys didn't watch it.
Yeah, I watched the Chelsea game. A little bit of it, yeah.
Damn.
I watched the Chelsea game. I watched the City game as well.
Yeah. Surfer, talk to me about the performance today.
Well,
did you think you were the better team on the pitch?
Not for big chunks of that game, no.
Fuck me.
No, I thought Wrexham actually. We had more in the first half. We had all the possession, but I think Wrexham had the better chances. Yeah, I'm not going to remember that performance. It was just about getting through. It was, and it was a typical FA Cup away tie when you make a lot of changes, as Dio knows from today's game as well. When you make a lot of changes, the other team.
You're not taking any positives from today at Chimpong. You're not taking at Chimpong.
No, the biggest positive is that we're through, so that's the biggest positive. I thought like Achimpong did well from about middle of the second half onwards. I thought.
Who do you think chose the lineup?
Oh, Rosenior chose it.
Okay.
What I didn't like. I don't mind the changes, but I didn't like the formation. That's what I didn't like, because we played three at the back, and we had the wing backs weren't really attacking.
That's why this game doesn't tell me anything about Chelsea.
I think this is just a typical like FA Cup game where managers actually just try stuff out, because again, the FA Cup, you have to realize teams like Mansfield, Wrexham has had the last 4 seasons promoted consistently from a very lower league, and they've just been getting up and up and up. There's a story around them, and this is like an FA Cup thing for most teams. So playing against the Chelsea, playing the way that they played in front of their fans, you know, even when they got the red card, you could see how they were acting still. The fans were still as screaming as though they were like the ones leading. Like, dude, you just got a red card and you're most likely going to lose the game. So that's the FA Cup spirit. So I think that's what I saw today. The positive.
Yeah, it was a typical throwback.
Typical FA Cup. You know, like remember throwback, like Hull City Arsenal in the final. Hull City is up by 2 goals. You know, Hull City fans are losing their minds in Wembley. It's like, all right, it's going to happen, and then we come back and win. That's just the FA Cup thing. I think
you get that in those type of fixtures when the Premier League side is away to the ground. When it's the reverse fixture, the Premier League side just snuffs them out, really. At home. Do you know what I mean? And even with the changes,
it was fun.
They snuff them out.
It was a good game. It was a good game to watch. To see a Wrexham, like I didn't know who Sam Smith was, and then all of a sudden I see this guy control the ball. You know, I just
that goal was good.
Like, insane from, you know, like he literally just controlled that ball. First touch was amazing, and you know, I'm like, how in the world did he even score that goal? But you know,
remember, Wrexham is not a bad team. Like Wrexham is Wrexham is meant to be an investment for Ryan Reynolds to actually go to the Premier League. Like,
I know, I'm not saying it's a bad team.
I never heard of any of the I never heard of any of these players.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I've never heard of any of those players.
And I'm very surprised that they are 6. Normally, we hear about the players that are like in the top 10 teams in the championship. I never heard of any of these guys. You know what I mean? I never heard of them.
They've taken 29 points from 33 since the start of the year. So that's
the only guy that I heard of course, the Welsh forward. What's his name? Moore.
He's
that's the only guy.
Because he's like 8'2", Mo. That's why you've heard of him. He's a tall bastard. That's what he is. But no, it was a.
It's Garnacho turning a corner. Can we now say that Garnacho's turning a corner about
No.
Like, why not? Like, Garnacho has been good in the last 2 games. Has been good versus Aston Villa. He's taken his chances. I don't think he has been great today, but he took his chances. Couple of chances, he took them. So I would actually give him credit. You know what I mean? A little bit.
I think he's okay in the cups. Man United fans told us that he'd show up in the cups, and he has done well the last couple of games. But I'm just not a fan of him at all. Do you know what I mean? I wish he does well for my club, but I just can't. Like, I just look at him and I just go, why did we? That front three, Mo, cost 130 million that started today. Do you know that front three? And I think that's the worst front three I've ever seen play for my club. That's I mean, Delap.
Delap was shit, bro. What was this, broski? What is this? What is this?
He's rubbish. You'd thought he found his level, but he couldn't do anything. He couldn't control the ball.
What is this, bro?
Yeah, but he was the one.
He did make that pass.
He made that pass for the goal.
Yeah.
And if he didn't,
guys, that's a simple pass to the side, guys. That's
a lot of miscontrols and whatever.
Guys, the guy literally was struggling to Tariq is spot on. He was struggling, and then he passed it to the left. Come on, now we're not gonna.
Before the struggle from the.
I know, Dayo. I know you're doing this because you wanna give Martinelli. You're gonna give Martinelli a credit for the assist.
I don't give. It's not about giving credit for that. No, let's talk football. I don't like this thing where we just micro.
Yeah, but he wasn't good. He was miscontrolling the same ball.
I am not saying he was good. I'm saying when he was struggling with that player, he could have gone down in the middle of the pack there, and they would have given a free kick, and that would have not been a goal. But he stood his ground. He shoved the guy. He literally wrestled the guy off, and then he made a weak pass. Whatever the case is, my point is, he carried on driving the ball forward towards the goalpost.
The biggest problem.
Another player would have fallen down, like, take it, and that would have been a free kick. So my point is, if you're driving forward. Simple. The assist counts. It's not a case.
Yeah, it does. The biggest problem for Delap is that João Pedro's just in the form of his life at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Delap is not good. I agree with you, but I'm not good. Yeah. I'm not going to take away.
No. He was.
I will be like, oh no, he didn't do it.
I felt some of them didn't take the opportunity to perform, given that they might not get a lot of minutes.
No, I thought I had to.
No,
I had to look to right. I thought I had to. By the way, I had to stir in a corner at Chelsea. We're just gonna be honest.
No, I didn't say all of them. I didn't say all. I said some of them. Some of them didn't take.
I think the guy that wants to leave is Badiashile. The guy wants out of the club. The guy is done with the club. Yeah. But I know that he can't leave because of his wages. He's one of the old signings at Chelsea. He's not one of the new signings.
He's not on a huge amount. He's not in a huge amount. It's not the. He's not. Trust me, he's not.
Like the way go ahead, because I thought that.
No, I agree. No, but
he wants out. I thought Shalaba. I thought Lavia looks like.
He looks like he's only just come back.
I'm not sure if Lavia has a future at Chelsea. To be honest with you guys, like I don't know. I don't think so.
He's
I don't think so.
Healthy.
Yeah, exactly. The problem is every time he gets in his groove, he gets injured again, and I'm like, this is. You're not gonna, because Isugu now is back, so there is competition for that position. There is Andre Santos running like a dog on the pitch. Isugu as well is there. There is Caicedo. There is Enzo. There's Reece James that sometimes plays there. So Lavia has to find form.
Well, I think he'll be around. I think he'll be around for the next few weeks, guaranteed, because there's potential to play Liverpool in the next few weeks. So he always shows up for those games. But he looked rusty. He looked like someone had just come back. And yeah, it was better. It was like it's just getting through. These ties are I very rarely go on about performance in cups because it's just about getting through.
But do you think it was better for you to go out and focus on the Champions League and the Premier League? No, because I want to win. You want to win this competition.
And apart from that, Silver Surfer, like this idea that people say when they're like, "Oh, what if your team drops out of this so you can focus on this?" If you drop out of this one, then you don't give the French players like Lavia the games to play anymore. Lavia doesn't have anybody.
Right. Spot on.
So you don't see any improvement in them, and then of course, eventually, it's not like, "Oh, this player's not
getting."
You want to be able to be present in all these competitions so that your players you can always test out all your French players. They can have
but the argument that people go, oh yeah, but you'll get more rest. Yeah, but they might get rust as well with the amount of time they're off. You look at Manchester United the last few performances. They've had they're going to go weeks sometimes about games, and the rust is going to come back on them. I'd rather utilize the squad as much as we can and just roll with it. I'd rather be playing the games than having to wait to weeks to play games. I'm sorry, I'm just not like that. This is the business end of the season, and I want to be involved in it. I don't want to be thinking, I can't wait for the World Cup to start.
How confident are you for with this team to make top 6 now, top 5 now after the Aston Villa game? Before we move on to,
well, I think the thing I have is that I think Villa are in free fall mode. I think they are. Because so this whole people other fans going, who's not going to make it? Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United. I think we're all going to make it. I don't know what order we're going to make it in, but I think we're all going to make it because Villa, that midfield has had the heart ripped out of it. That Villa midfield without John McGinn, without Tillemans in it, and Ollie Watkins. I don't know what type of form he's on. I don't know. Tammy Abraham's coming in. I know I've history of Tammy Abrahams at my club. I know he's not good enough, but I think they are the further. And also, we talk about other further on. The further they'll get, if they get further in the Europa League mode, that might be their best chance to actually make Champions League. Is the Europa League is winning it because I don't see a lot of big competition apart from maybe Roma.
That's the panel question. Is João Pedro the signing of the season this season? He has 21. He's 23 GA around all competitions. Is he the signing of the season in the Premier League this season?
He's one of them.
Who's going to be above him? Donnarumma, maybe?
I was going to say Donnarumma, but I'm not going to say Donnarumma is better or worse. I'm just going to say that they're both up there.
I've got Donnarumma, I've got Zubimendi, and I've got Ekitike is up there.
I don't have Ekitike above João Pedro this season.
No, not
above. Up there. And of course, again, you can't. There's no binary way to say.
I would. It's only for me. It's only 3 in my opinion. It's Donnarumma, Zubimendi, and João Pedro currently as it stands. Listen, there is still 9 games and cup games and Carabao Cup final. Things can change, right? But currently as it stands, for me, I would say one of these 3.
I can't even put them in any order.
I can't either. Yeah.
I can't put them in any order, but I'd say the importance that they are to the team is basically like.
I would put Donnarumma 1.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe because him being a goalie and what he's done again.
Because I don't think without Donnarumma, City would be not in a title race at all.
But you say that, Mo. I don't know who scores our goals without Pedro at the moment.
Yeah. I wouldn't argue Donnarumma. Again, I'm probably going to be called a Arsenal hater, and that's okay. I would.
But you are. I need to
and that's why I said it's okay. That's why I said it's okay.
okay.
I'm not arguing it. But I would put Zubamendi third in that list, and then you can put first and second however you want to. I don't really care.
Why would you put Zubamendi third?
Because there's three people, and he has.
So why would you put Zubamendi
third? Somebody has to be third, and Donnarumma. To your point, Donnarumma. I mean, again, if you had five people, maybe I put him fifth. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But what I'm telling you is Donnarumma. To your point, again, I think James Trafford is going to be an amazing keeper. I'm not suggesting that. I just don't think he does what Donnarumma does consistently through this season the way that Donnarumma has done it. I think the impact of Donnarumma for us he's probably, and again, haven't done any math, I haven't gone back and looked, he's probably won us 9 to 12 points this season, Donnarumma. And again, you just gave the numbers for João Pedro. I don't think anybody was expecting anywhere near that from him this season.
What metric are we using? Because if you're saying that, if you're using that yardstick, for example, saying Donnarumma has won you 9 to 12 points, Lamens of United has won them many points from 15s to the position they are right now. Like, that's a goalkeeper that has given them a lot of points in games. Raya has gotten us similar 9 to 12
but
points.
We're talking about people who were brought in. We're talking about signings this season. That's what his question was.
I know, but Lamens is a signing, right?
Lamens is cold this season.
Lamens is cold this season. I mean, what I'm saying is, if that's the yardstick that we're measuring it by, the points that they've contributed to the team, then there's a lot of players we can look at that have come in. For example, Sunderland. Right, you can look at the player like Granit Xhaka and what he has done with Sunderland, like impact in Sunderland.
Sure.
Where they are. So my thing is, we need to have a metric by which we gauge it.
I would say,
and that was my statement. Because again, Mo threw those names out there. That wasn't Mo's statement. That was me. I said that he's probably going to.
No. That's why I said I was asking. Like,
again, and I acknowledge up front that I haven't done the math. I haven't gone back to be like, oh, he saved us this one. I haven't done the numbers, so maybe it's more, maybe it's less. I don't know. But you mentioned the United keeper. Cool. I don't have no problem with that. But when you threw Raya in there, I was like, wait a minute, Raya's not a signing. So that's why I was challenging.
I just spoke about goalkeepers as regards to, but Lamens is a new signing. United was 15th. Look at where they are right now. Look at the games that the clean sheets he's had, the impact he's had on the team as well as a goalkeeper. Like, he is mild.
The only thing that I would say about sorry, I cut you off. My bad.
I think the only issue is because United are not in the conversation to.
That's what I was going to say.
Premier League, maybe because they're not in the or they're not in the Champions League, or because they've dropped out of other tournaments. People are overlooking the impact that he has actually brought to the team. So I would say, if we're looking at signing of the season, we have to have some metric that we're gauging it by, and that metric has to apply to all 20 teams. And you will find.
I would say João Pedro. The discussion with João Pedro signing the season at the moment is really only happened after Rosenior's come in.
Yes, 100%.
You know what I mean? It's not like before no one was going, he's signing of the season. But yeah, the other two have been for the basic part for the entire season. They've been up there performing. Do you know what I mean? Influencing the club. So
I don't know about the City versus Arsenal depth today. Was that today a showcase of the depth for both teams? The City made 9 changes. Arsenal made a lot of changes today as well, probably 11 changes from the team. Was that a showcase of how deep the squads are? And City's squad kind of proved that they are better equipped actually to win these games. Because by the way, there's going to be a game every 3 days, right? When the Champions League come in, and there's going to be a FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. If we're comparing both, because I thought the City win was so impressive. I thought the Arsenal win was average, to be honest with you today. It was so average. The only thing that we take positive from today's game for Arsenal is that they gone through and Max Dowman. That's it, in my opinion. But City win was impressive. 1-0 behind, come back, could have been a lot. Is that a showcase of how deep City squad is? Because people keep saying that Arsenal have the best depth, Arsenal have the best depth, Arsenal has the best depth. But is that actually true? That Arsenal have the best depth?
So we're going to sit down, watch one game against Newcastle in an FA Cup, and all of a sudden now begin to compare depth. out of the entire season. When City were struggling at the beginning of the season with this same squad depth issue, and I'm not using it to diss them, when their players were injured, when they didn't have people.
Yeah, but they had signed two players. Yeah,
I know what I'm saying is what I'm saying is. We saw it at the beginning of the season where they struggled in certain games when they had injuries in certain positions, right? Because of that depth that you're talking about. All of a sudden, some of them are fit now. They play one game and they look good. So now let's compare the squad depth. No, we can't do that. Arsenal has a better squad depth than City. It's not in question. But if you want to then do the whole City Arsenal
squad in question, it's absolutely in question. You might not agree, but to say it's not in question.
No, I'm saying because again, I'm not going to do per game analysis to then bring up a question like that. Per game analysis is today all of a sudden I feel that my B team. Now is my B team better than City's B team? No,
but again, you said that at the beginning of the season, right? At the beginning of the season, you're right. We were missing players, and I know I just cut you off, but I got to say this: we had a Ballon d'Or winner who wasn't playing at the beginning of the season.
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
But you can't go back there and say, well, obviously they weren't in the conversation about most or best depth at the beginning of the season, so they can't have the best depth at this current point in the season when we've had people like a Ballon d'Or winner come back, when we've gone out and bought Savinho, when we've gone out and bought Gallowgate.
But that's not what I'm saying, though. Again, you had to go out in January to add to the squad depth to make it slightly, better. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying now, all of a sudden, one game against Newcastle. I'm saying today, one game against Newcastle. Now let's throw up a question.
Yeah, but it's a showcase. You're playing away against Newcastle, showcase.
I'm just saying.
So when I say today, I don't mean like just this one game today. I mean where the state of the club is today. Our depth versus your depth today. I think we have it, and that's not even including. Doesn't even include having Gvardiol that's not available. So I mean, again, I don't. As a matter of fact, we could go player for player and try to figure it out if you wanted to go that route or whatever. But I just don't think it. The way you said it earlier was like it's not even a question, and that to me is very, very dismissive. Of like, come on, man! It's at least a conversation. It's at least a conversation.
If you say that City have a better squad depth than Arsenal, then City must catch us up with 7 points. City must win the Premier League.
That's not just because we have the best depth doesn't mean that we're going to win every game in these next 9 and have to win again. If we were having, we'll see. We won't see until next season, and the next season will be completely different. But again. If you ask me, what we'll see is when we play each other. That's what we'll see. Because that's the only thing that either team can control. Yeah, I can't control what you win or don't win. You can't control what I win or don't win, except for that one game.
When we play each other, right, we'll be playing our first 11s. Hopefully, they'll all be fit. Hopefully, that'll be a good game.
But it won't be just the 11 players. There'll be people come in that'll have to be game changers and have to be difference makers. Because again,
I haven't even finished my statement. Like, all I'm saying is, when we play that game, it will be majorly our first 11. Yes, we'll make a few subs here and there. What we saw today was taking 8-9 new players and putting them on the pitch. We're not going to be doing that when we play each other. We're only going to have 5 substitutions at the most. So let's not, that's going to be a different ball game entirely. When we're talking about squad depth, when you look at the bench and say, all right, cool, let me put out another 11. Let's see what they can do, right? Up until now, like again, there was no conversation like that with City up until this Newcastle game, is what I'm saying. And I'm saying, well, if City fans or if anybody who's, believes that that's a better squad depth than Arsenal, then fair enough. Everybody, to each their own. I just think that we've had a better squad depth all season, which is why we've managed to stay where we are, the position that we've been in throughout. I think we've had it all through the season. Now, are you saying maybe your players are back and then we can now compare and see? But I'm not going to use one game to then judge it because I've seen my second team go to Inter Milan and win. I changed 7 players. I've seen my second team, go do other things. I'm now not going to use one Newcastle game as a yardstick. I'm not saying you don't have players. I'm saying this can't be a yardstick for me. Hence why I say we have a better squad depth because ours has done it already this season so far. In other games, we did it in the FA Cup. We've done it in the Carabao Cup up until we got to the final. We've done it in the Champions League. And we've also, our first team right now is still doing it in the Premier League. However, the games look, it might be ugly. You might not like it, but it is what it is. They're doing it. And that's the bottom line.
I agree with Dyer. I think Arsenal have the better depth. But I think the defensive depth is far superior to City's. I just think it is. In my opinion. other areas they might be able to match up. But I just think when Arsenal have been able to rotate or slide players in and out, you've not really noticed that much of a difference. Whereas City, we've seen it, how many drop points they've had recently. I just think there are there's different areas of the squad each you might be better in, but I like Dyer said, I think Arsenal have used it better throughout the season.
I mean, we didn't even see like Miles Lewis-Skelly today because he has 2 yellow cards. We still have.
No, I mean, look at your bench.
Yeah, we still have what's his name injured. What's his name again for us? Mikel Marino. People might not rate him, but this year he's scored a lot of goals for us. He's been awesome in midfield, and so again, I'm not saying it to this City, and I know that a lot of times when we talk, I respect Pep Guardiola. I respect your first 11. I think you guys have an amazing first 11. I think your first 11 is a stronger first 11 than ours when it comes just marginally better than ours. And then you have Pep again because our attack for attack, you hands down better than us. You've got Hale End, you've got Omar Marmoush, you've got people like that in your attack.
Yeah,
I mean, I've got Martinelli and I've got Noni Madueke as a backup. Let's be realistic here. So, but as a team, I think that we're a more resolute team to break down. As a team, I think we're a team that, regardless of what it is, we find a way to just be stubborn. And the Premier League asked for this. They asked for this because I'm telling you this, for the last 20 years, I kept on hearing the words soft underbelly. I kept on hearing the words, you play beautiful tiki-taka football, but no output. I kept on hearing the words, same old Arsenal, same old story. Arsenal play the football, Chelsea score the goals. And now Arsenal has decided to become the bully, and everybody now wants to complain.
Yep.
So,
hey. So the only thing that I would, I guess, counter or question or whatever. So you said, just lost it. Dang it. You were talking about, you said that I think Surfer said that you guys have the best defensive depth. You kind of agree with that, but what you said was that effectively you're the most I'm trying to get the word resolute. That was the word. Yeah, I didn't want to use it if it weren't what you said. And I would agree with you that as far as being compact, being hard to break down, I think I would agree with that. But I think when you look at individual defenders, I don't think it's I don't think it's a big difference. It might even be City's way. But I think when you put it on the pitch and how you have been on the pitch during the match, I can't argue that, right? Again, part of that is how we set up, how we play attacking wise, and then how we get back. So there's other things that go into that besides just the individual players. And hold on. And I understand that when it comes to, like, with anything, you play as it's not just like one player. What you can't just go, this player, it's how you play together when it is what matters when it comes to winning matches on the pitch, right? You have to play together. But if we're having a conversation about just actual depth, we're looking at player for player, who has the most there. Now, whether they actually put it together on the pitch may be a different conversation, at least in my mind.
Even player for player. If you look at our left back, right, we've got Nkapia, we've got Calafiori. If you look at our right back, we've got Timber and we've got Ben White, right? These are very good right backs. If you look at, you're looking at Saliba and Mosquera. You're also looking, so I'm sorry, Miles Lewis-Skelly on the left, and Calafiori. Then you're looking at Hincapié and Gabriel. In that, like, these are your
center backs.
Those are just the guys that I've just mentioned.
Yeah. So you said, give me your left backs. Give me your left back. You said Miles Lewis-Skelly and Calafiori. Right. So I could say Ait Nori, and if I wanted to, I could put Nico O'Reilly. Nico O'Reilly is just as good.
I know, but again,
as Miles Lewis-Skelly.
What you're saying is, if I wanted to, I could put. We have dedicated. These guys are there. Nico O'Reilly moves.
Nico O'Reilly is talented enough to be able to be above average, if not
so
good in multiple positions. Which you would tell me about Miles Lewis-Skelly as well.
Kelly never really plays. He plays left back for us. He only inverts. The problem is he inverts. He plays left back. My point is I'm talking about positional play for each of these players. Not, Nico O'Reilly this week plays in midfield for you. Next week he plays in left back. Next week, yeah, he's a talented player that can do that. I get that. But in your left back position, who are your two standing left backs that you can point out? In my left wing, my two standing left wings are Martinelli and Trossard. They're both crap. But those are my two left wingers. My right wingers are Saka and Noni Madueke. Boom. My strikers up front are Gyökeres and Jesus, right? And then Kai Havertz now, we've brought him back into the 10 because he's the hybrid guy. I'm not going to put his name on anywhere. If you're looking at my 10, I'm looking at Odegaard and Eze, right? If you're looking at my 8, I'm looking at Mikel Merino and Rice. And then if you're looking at DM, I have Norgard, who's dedicated 6, and I also have Zubimendi. So I'm saying squad-wise, Arsenal has 2 players per position that play in that position, not the guys that we shift around. Right? So again,
Nico O'Reilly is a left back because he played 29 games as a left back this season. He is a dedicated left back. But because he's that good, when Aït-Nouri came back, he is able to play in the midfield. But the dedicated 2 left backs, based on the numbers and the positions and how many minutes they played, it is Nico O'Reilly and Aït-Nouri this season. That's actually facts. Like, just go check the number of minutes, the number of games. He's a left back. I'm telling you because Nico O'Reilly started the season as a left back, played every single group stage as the left back for Manchester City, and played 20-something games. I'm not correcting you. I'm just giving you the fact.
I know. I'm saying
that he is the dedicated.
I hear the facts. I'm saying I was addressing it because he says I can put Nico O'Reilly in that. So I was like, is he a left back or are you just put? I'm not saying that he's. Let
me do these two super chats and then I'm gonna tell you guys a statement that maybe. Perfect. City got the best starting 11, best depth, best managers. You better win the league then.
Yeah, it's fair. That's fair.
Are you waiting for a response from me? Sorry.
Yes.
I didn't want to jump in. So again, I'll say the same thing that I said earlier is that this conversation, because again, at the beginning of the season, it was Arsenal who was telling us they had the best depth, they had whatever. So just because now that we've brought in some additions, and I believe overall, top to bottom, our team is better. Again, we have a deficit to make up. Arsenal were at least 9 points at one point in the season, so we have to. We're not starting at the same point.
Let him finish.
Yeah, that narrative is wrong.
Okay. Let him finish.
I don't care about the point. My point is this: we're not starting from a ground zero. If we're starting the league today and everybody's on 0, then that point would be absolutely valid in my opinion. But it's not. We're starting from behind, and we might still run you down. I don't know, but we're not starting from the same place. So yes, I agree that City does have the best starting 11. We do have the best manager, and we do have the best depth. I agree with that entire part of this of that statement. And I would say if we were starting from the league today, you would be absolutely right. We should win the league. And I think we would. But I don't know if we will from the position that we are right now today. Go ahead, Mo.
Don doesn't step from... can someone read that?
It's Donnarumma doesn't stop Man City from losing. He stops Man City from battering. Or I don't know. I guess that's what that's
from battering. From
battering the other team or from getting battered.
I'm gonna say. Okay, I'm actually gonna say a statement, and actually, I know that a lot of people won't like it, right? But this is how I feel. Actually, I actually think currently maybe Manchester City have better players, as Tariq said, right? But I think Arsenal have the better manager this season.
Yeah.
I actually think the difference between the two teams is the manager. And I know that Pep Guardiola is the best manager, and I've called him a genius, and he is the best league manager, right? But I actually think that this season, Mikel Arteta has actually been the best coach in the league. The fact that the guy has multiple goal scorers, with actually an attack that is, people say that it's dysfunctional, right? They still score, but they score 101 goals. They are top of the Premier League. They are one of the most adaptable teams you can't actually pinpoint how Arsenal play football, yet they win the majority of their games, right? In the Champions League, they can literally go and press high, and they did it against Inter. They literally did it in phases against us, where they pressed high, and then they sat deep, and then they pressed again. it is. I think we need to normalize to say that in this season, for example, there are. I think Pep Guardiola this season have let Man City down multiple times by playing a high line, but not utilizing the players he has. He played two slow center backs and he played the high line and he got beat multiple times. He relied so much on Haaland sometimes. Yet when Savinho came on, we see now that City needed someone else to actually score goals other than Erling Haaland. Because you look at Savinho now, he's scoring goals. I think it's normal to say that maybe if you're asking me, defensive-wise, I would take Gabriel and Saliba all day long. Left back, I would take Nico O'Reilly. Right back, between Timber and between, I think Matthias Nunes is so. I think there is not a lot of difference this season between Matthias Nunes and Jordan Timber, to be honest. I think Matthias Nunes has actually had a fantastic season. I think in the DM, I would take Zubamendi over Rodri. Rodri have been slower. But Nico O'Reilly has played very well in the middle. Ryan Cherki has been amazing forward-wise. Erling Haaland, Semenyo, they have been good. I think Doku has been good. But I think Tayo or Tariq put, I think, the right frame. It's like, as a team, I don't think Man City are good as Arsenal. I don't think they are. I don't think Man City are as good as Arsenal at all. And it's down to the manager. It's literally down to the manager.
Can I say something real quick, Mo? And this is not to discredit anybody. You know, my attack is not good. We can all see it. Fair enough, right? But having said that, we scored the same amount of goals that City has scored with their good attack in the Premier League. We both have 56 goals. That says a lot. That says a lot about your tactics and manager.
But I'm arguing your point.
I know it says a lot about the way we've.
Yeah, like it's very close. Even if game mode, not game mode, like it's on bar. Let's say because it can, as long as it can change between one game or the other, that means they are on bar. They're together.
Even if you outscore us by 5 goals by the end of the season, that still says a lot about an attack that is not firing on all cylinders. Let's be realistic. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, so for me, I think what Mikel Arteta has done is he's found a way to win games with all his 100%. Players. We literally have all our outfield players who have scored. Timber has scored and assisted in 7 games as a right back this season. Zubamendi has covered the most ground according to the Premier League this season as regards to a player that has covered the most running ground this season. You know, like every Arsenal player has contributed something, 2, 3, 4 GA, every single one of them. And that in itself is a very annoying team to play against because you mark out Gyökeres, the goals will come from somebody else. You mark out a defender when it's corner kick, the goal will come from somewhere else. And because they're a team that knows how to defend, I don't think we're a defensive team. We're a team that knows how to defend. Because we're a team that knows how to defend, we can grind out games, and that annoys
like Brian,
other teams. So I'm happy. I'm happy.
So
it should be.
I agree that you're right. That first of all, you guys have scored all those goals, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how they go in; just put them in, right? And that's all that matters. I would also suggest that I think I think there's probably if you ask people, they would probably think City's attack is far and away above Arsenal's, and they would say Arsenal's defense is far and away above City's defense. But the reality is it's really close because again, you guys have we've given up 5 more goals than you guys have in that same time frame. And again, to be fair, we have a
Can I stop that here?
Another game to play. I know you're going to tell me about you're going to go look at the but the metrics say this, that, and the other. But what the numbers say is, and because you would say the same thing about, well, they're only scoring goals this way or that way. Who cares? At the end of the day, what matters is, did the goal go in? Yes or no? How many goals have we kept out, or how many goals have we given up, so on and so forth? And so I guess what I'm saying is that while Arsenal's attack is giving or scored just as many goals as City, so to kind of kill that narrative, I would also say that City's defense hasn't given up very many more goals than Arsenal's, who is considered the best defense in Europe, not just in the Premier League, but in Europe. So yes, it doesn't look the same, but it's not much difference.
But however, I'm gonna go back. I don't think so. Part of your defense is your goalkeeper, and your goalkeeper is saving you a lot.
Everybody's got a part to play. Everybody's got a part to play.
I think Donnarumma, you have conceded less goals than the XG conceded for you. And let me just tell you something. You are, as it stands, you and Crystal Palace probably are but your margin is much bigger than everyone else. You have more than probably 50% of the Arsenal XG conceded. 50% more. And imagine that 50%, 1.5 times. But Donnarumma stops that. I think Pep Guardiola is the reason why. If Man City don't win the league this season, I think it's Pep Guardiola is the reason for City not winning the league this season. He is the reason why. I think it's and him only. With his staff, of course. Whoever is advising him to play that brand of football.
Decisions he's made.
Like decisions he's made,
whether it's
100%.
Players or like you talk about the high line. Yeah. I mean, again, I can't argue that point, right? Again, he's the high line.
Whatever he changed the tactics many times this season. He changed the tactics. You played box midfield, you played diamond, you played 2 strikers, you played wide wingers.
Trying to find what works.
He's which is exactly he is trying. I'm not saying that he is at fault, but I don't think that Pep Guardiola has found yet the way that to get the best out of this team and have a run.
Yeah,
and go on a run and win the Mustard again.
Yeah,
you get my point about this. Like
I was gonna say, I don't particularly like Mikel Arteta, but to your point, he has gotten them across the line. He has found a way to win. He has found a way to be resolute. He has found a way to get 3 points when it matters. So he has gotten this team basically from start of the season till now. They've been effectively in the lead. So I can't argue that. I don't like him, but I can't argue that point, right? So to your
why don't you like him? I'm sorry. As a person or as a coach?
Can I
it's
say
okay. It's okay.
Both?
You can. Of course you can.
So but I will acknowledge.
So why don't you like him as a coach? I don't think I like most managers. I actually don't like most managers as people because I believe that they kind of develop some personalities that are strange. Like Rosenior, for example, has a personality that is strange. Pep Guardiola sometimes in press conferences. Like, but as a coach, why don't you like Mikel Arteta?
Scratches his own face and mutilates.
Like Pep would be. Pep would be I'll answer your question. As a person, I wouldn't. You can like or dislike what you want.
I will answer your question, but again, I don't want again. Whether I like him or not, I'm acknowledging the fact that what you said earlier was he has probably been the better manager of the two this season. Do I think he's a better manager overall? No. But this season, he has put his team in the best positions to win, and they've done that, whether by hook or by crook, don't really matter. At the end of the day, you just get across the line, get the points, and him and his team have done that. Now, if you want to know why I don't, it comes down to little small things, whether it's trying
coach
to
as a coach.
Again, I don't like what I see the style of play right now. That's just it. I don't like the way that they play. I don't like that's a personal opinion, right?
I know, but most of you like
the world. Hold on, agrees with you.
Hold on. Most of you like the way we played in 22-23 when it was free flowing football and we didn't win. I didn't hear any insults then. You like the way we played in 23-24 where we played good football and we went on a 14 game out of 16 game win and 1 draw and 1 loss, and nobody said anything back then. What did you call us back then when we played that way? You called us soft underbelly. You can't get over the line.
Okay.
No, I'm saying this was the general
collectively, yes.
The general narrative. Oh, you guys will never get over the line. I saw people tweeting videos of Bellerin getting knocked out and freezing on the floor because he got a elbow from a Chelsea player and who went on to score after that, right? I saw all of these and we kept quiet. And now the man has built a resolute bully team that will match the Premier League for what they wanted. And now all of a sudden, we don't like the way Arsenal play. I'm glad you don't like it. You wanted this monster, you have this monster now. You asked for this monster, you have gotten the monster that you created. And you're going to live with this monster for as long as this monster is strong enough to bully this league. I hate the football we play today because I grew up in the Wenger football. I want to see my team play beautiful football. I used to come here and defend Arsenal's beautiful football, and people would insult me on panels and say, oh, you have a loser's mentality because you're defending good football. Thank you, Mikel Arteta, for building the beast that they asked for, they have received right now. The Trojan horse is now inside the camp. When we win this Premier League, I guarantee you this summer, all of you that have been mouthing off, go and hide, because I will make your life a living hell. On this platform, I will be on every stream when we win eventually, because this is what you guys asked for. But like when Arsenal was busy playing the good football and Mikel Arteta was bringing in young players and Martinelli was running down the flanks and Saka was cutting in and we're, doing all the tricks and flicks and he was looking good and four-touch counter attack and scoring goals. They would. What did they say? What did we get? Like my thing is because everybody has removed nuance from the conversation and just want to banter. It becomes annoying for a fan like me to talk about football. I should be able to praise City for winning the league with 2 points over me and say, oh, we also played very well. You guys were just better. But no, that's not what I get. I get called a butler. I get called weak. I get called soft underbelly.
No, I hear what he's saying.
Now all of that has changed. Let me come and hear about the soft underbelly now. Let me come and hear about how I will score a goal in the 9th minute and grind out 81 minutes and punish the other team and waste 30 good minutes because you know why? You know why? Because they were giving the throw-ins away. They were giving us the corner kicks. They were the ones giving us the goal kicks. The Brighton has the most yellow cards. That tells you that they commit the most tackles and the most offenses in the league, which means as a team that commits the most tackles, if you commit too many tackles against Arsenal, a team that usually takes about 10 to 15, 20, 30 seconds to get the ball back in play, you are going to burn a lot of time. So thank you for falling into the trap of our tactic. It is what it is.
You know what Dio just described there? That is prime Jose Mourinho football right there. That's what that is. And Arsenal fans should embrace it. They should embrace being disliked. Yeah. I do not like... I respect Dio very much. I don't like the Arsenal fans, other Arsenal fans that we see on the terrace, that we see on the panel shows like this, who want to be loved, who want us to love them. No, you want to be hated because that means we respect you more. That's why we respect you more. We fear you more because you're doing this. It's the same way I had it when I had Arsenal fans saying, oh, I don't want to win playing that type of football. I want to play what Arsenal Wenger plays. No, it's all about that. It's all about lifting it. It's all about getting something in the cabinet at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Embrace it. Embrace being the heel. Embrace it. It's all good. Be hated. I love being... I don't want our rival fans to be sympathetic to my team. Piss off.
No, again, Sofa, it's not even about the sympathy for me. It's about the lies. And the thing is, that's what triggered me. I'll give you an example. The year that Chelsea won the Premier League with Mourinho, 04-05, do you know how many set pieces Chelsea scored that year?
A lot.
Chelsea scored 19 set pieces, barring penalties. Barring penalties in that year. Do you know who the highest? Do you know who the highest goal scorer for Chelsea was that year?
I think
Frank Lampard with 13 goals. The highest goal scorer was a 13 goal. But Arsenal is on track to do something similar to that. And they're saying, oh, your highest goal scorer only has 10 goals. What's the difference? Teams have done this in the past and they were praised for it. But all of a sudden, when Arsenal do it, all I want to hear is people just shit on us now. So
I guess my issue.
Can I get Tari to respond?
Well, no. I guess the only thing I would say, because I agree with both of them. At least I think I do. But I guess my issue is to what Surfer just said. Why do you feel, not you particularly as a fan base, why do you feel the need to be loved or to be validated by everybody else, except the fact that you hate me? Because again, what I've come to understand, and again, I probably haven't been a City fan as long as you've maybe been an Arsenal fan. Sounds like you might be from the UK. So you probably been, or I don't know, but you probably been an Arsenal fan longer than me. That's fine. Dio.
Austin, Texas.
I live in Austin.
Oh, I see. I thought you were over. Yeah, okay, so that's even.
I used to live in the UK.
But he used to live in the UK.
Okay, yeah. So you might, but I guess my point is, I've accepted the fact that no matter what we do, City is never going to be beloved. I'm okay with that. I don't understand why. And again, I feel like Arsenal fans collectively are looking to the rest of to their rivals and to the rest of the football world and saying, why don't you love me? Why don't you appreciate me? Why don't you accept me? So go ahead.
Let me respond to that. Okay, so here's the thing about it. I think that's what you perceive from what they're saying. But what I always do, usually with Arsenal, is to defend what is true. For example, we're having a conversation earlier now. You said at some stage we were 9 points ahead. We were never 9 points ahead at the close of any weekend that the league this weekend. We were 9 points ahead when you played Liverpool, and Liverpool was up by 1 goal, and then you came back and won that game. And by the time you won that game, we were back to 6 points ahead. At no time. So when people put out that narrative, for example.
So how far were you up? So would it be
the maximum points we've been ahead is this 7 points that you see right now? We've always been 6 points, 4 points, then 2 points, and then back 7 now. We've never at any point been 9 points ahead. So when you put out that narrative and people then say, oh, Arsenal was 9 points ahead, look, you guys have bottled it. That's what I kick back against. I don't care. I don't need anybody to come and tell me whether I'm good or I'm not good or the team is right. But don't lie about certain things. Like, and I'm not saying you're lying. I'm saying this is what the mainstream media is doing. All of a sudden, Liverpool score 3 set piece goals. Oh, beautiful game of set piece by Liverpool, the new set piece king. The week before, Arsenal set piece. Is it good or bad? Is Arsenal killing the game? Like, it is exactly why it takes me off. This is why Arsenal fans speak back. Most times, you guys talk about us speaking back at the issue that we're kicking up against and say, wow, you're asking us to validate you. No, we're saying, why are you talking about all this crap? This here is not true. Nobody's doing that to any other team. And here's the thing, when someone kicks back at something that you've done, let's talk about the issue and not the person's response. They can't put up a fake response or wrong response or a lie and expect fans to be quiet, right? And just accept it. Fans are going to kick back. If I said something wrong about Chelsea right now, he would correct me. If I lied about the Mourinho fact, and if he corrects me, you need to be able to say, hey, Dio, let's talk about the thing that you brought up. We should not be saying, oh, Surfer, why are you always defending Chelsea? You have to defend your club. If somebody lied against City in front of me, I always call them out. Like, I call out the facts the way it is, So I do get it. There are annoying Arsenal fans, like they're annoying City fans, they're annoying Chelsea fans, they're annoying Man U fans. But when we're having football conversations like this, I like to be as honest as possible.
But I'm gonna give you guys an example. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys an example of the difference in analysis. And Tariq, I want you to open your mind. I know you're an open-minded person, and when you played Leeds in the last 30 minutes, right, of the Leeds game, the 1-0 game, Man City were camping with 24% ball position in their area for the last 20 minutes, right? 20 minutes or something. And Man City got the points. They walked away with the points from Ellen Road. Tough game. Same against Newcastle, right? And the analysis was at that time that City won away against Ellen Road, stuff like this. When Arsenal do something similar, people say they ruin football. Why are they defending deep? Why do they camp in their area? Why do they do that? I'm not saying that. And it's going beyond. Fans on YouTube will banter each other. Now it's going to professional pundits that say that, right? I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm not a City fan, right? But I'm an observer. I actually comment on it's my job, right? And I saw what Dayu said about the BBC is spot on. Why do you say in the Arsenal ruined the game with set pieces, yet you say that Liverpool the new set piece kings? Like, what's the purpose of these two posts within 1 week? Like, what's there is no other purpose that you
both sides against the middle. Because again, the comment about Liverpool being the new set piece kings is to take away from the fact that you've been calling Arsenal the set piece kings the entire way. I don't think Arsenal should apologize for scoring goals in any way that they score them, whether that be by set pieces or not. I think again, I may be the newest person to this, whatever. I don't know, but to me, it's really the wrestling that I have an issue with. It's the wrestling, and this is not just the Arsenal thing. This is across all of football. Well, at least all of the Premier League. I just don't like all the WWE antics in the box that then contribute to goals.
I don't like them too. I don't like them too.
Yeah. So again, if because I don't remember it being that way in the past. Now, you talked about one-off plays where Bellerin got hit in the head or whatever. Those things have happened, of course, but it wasn't a top-down. Every team is playing this way.
But you would be consistent. If Man City do this, you'll be the same.
You're missing my point. I'm talking about.
No, I wasn't saying that you said anything. I was just saying that's why I have an issue. If I were to say something about set pieces, it's not because you scored from a corner. It's all of the antics in the box that got the goal from the corner.
Well, that's left to the FA. The FA just needs to change the rules.
And that's why I don't blame you. That's why I don't blame you.
Again, we face the most. I think Arsenal and you probably Arsenal and Liverpool, probably City as well, have faced the teams with the most low block this season. The Premier League has experienced a drop in teams getting broken down over the last 2-3 seasons. Teams have become harder to beat. To tell you how good the bottom teams are, the middle belt teams are, when City in January needed to reinforce, where did you go? You went to Brentford. You went to go and get Savinho. You went to Gallowgate. You went to Crystal Palace. That's how strong those teams are. So again, the teams are harder to beat. We found a tool to be able to beat these teams and put the ball in the back of the net. If the FA didn't like it, they should change the rules. Anybody coming to tell me, because this was the same Arsenal that would try to pass the ball into the net, tiki-taka, tiki-taka. And when we don't win games, if we continue with that same method, you guys would be laughing at us right now. You guys are playing beautiful football, but you're not scoring. Now I'm scoring with some kind of method, some kind of way. And the whole fallacy about set-piece kings, they never called us set-piece kings in the mainstream media. They called us set-piece FC, Stoke 2.0. Those were the names that they tagged us with. But then when it's another team, they say set-piece kings. You see the difference.
You see, Tariq, the difference, huh?
This is why for me.
So
Corner FC
you.
versus set-piece kings. Corner FC versus
this is why I kick back.
I hear you.
Against it. A lot of people subconsciously don't realize that when you hear stuff like that, they use it to insult Arsenal. And again, yeah, you can banter me if we're talking about banter, but on the football, you can't banter me. Right now, I'm top of the Premier League with 7 points. You can't be bantering my football. I don't care what anybody says. If you want to banter me about my days of soft underbelly, yes, do that. But then the mainstream media, pundits, fans, like we can't have a proper football chat about a game and say, oh, you know what? Arsenal today, only 2 points of quality made us win the game. Eze put shooting very well and Noni Madueke shooting well. Every other thing that we did was just in gear one. Like I can talk about how badly we played and what the quality times were, but again, they'll turn it into banter. So that's why for me as an Arsenal fan, every single time I speak back, they're like, oh, you want validation. No, I don't want validation. I want the same thing across the board. If you start scoring set pieces, I'm not going to start calling you corner FC or set piece FC. That's not what I'm going to call you.
Can I give you guys an example about something? Can I give you guys something about football before Winter Super comes in? You're the only manager that is about the playing good football that is recognized for playing good football and winning is probably in the Premier League is Pep Guardiola. However, playing good football makes you get away with things. For example, like playing good football, for example, Vincent Kompany went up with Burnley, played beautiful football from the back, got relegated, but got the Bayern Munich job.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure. Failed up.
If another manager went up and finished higher than Vincent Kompany with the same squad, but still got relegated, but played defensive football, or finished 17th, they would never be considered for the Bayern Munich job.
Yeah.
They would never be considered. I actually push back in the word beautiful football in the eye. For me, is Lamine Yamal. That is beautiful. That is maybe five-a-side football. However, there are different ways of playing football as well. Being tactically well constructed, being well drilled on the pitch. Do Arsenal play entertaining football? No, they don't. They don't play. They don't play through passes like this. They don't play dribbles like this. They don't play Kevin De Bruyne brand of football or Ryan Cherky brand of football. They don't. And I don't think the Arsenal have that brand that had that player. It's not Mikel Arteta's fault. He actually finding a way to win without having the Ryan Cherky with the Kevin De Bruyne. Because Odegaard is in and out of the team and he's not Kevin De Bruyne. They don't have that guy. They don't.
And that makes him a genius.
No, he's not. He's not.
That makes him a genius. That's what I'm saying. It makes Mikel Arteta.
Saka's not with all the which is all I said. Saka's not. He isn't.
No, I was saying that's what they would say. They would counter with Saka's that good.
No, he's not.
Nobody ever counted. See, this is the thing. You're the one who's brought that up now. No Arsenal. I didn't even. I simply just said that makes the manager genius. No, I'm saying, but the general. See again, the general. In this conversation, you're the one that said they will counter with, even when no one has said that.
No, but they did. He's right. He's right. He's right. He's right.
We can't have an. We got to have an honest conversation.
We are having a conversation.
No. But you spoke about the majority of the. You didn't speak about us only. You spoke about the majority.
What you said right now.
Yeah, baby, just listen to us before you respond. Just listen to us. We are not talking about you and the panel. We are talking about general. But when you spoke about the people, the media, you aren't speaking about us. We are not the media. Winter Surfer is not the media. Tariq is not the media. When we say that, people respond and say Saka, that's what Tariq means. Some fans would respond and say Saka would. You know what I mean? That's what they would respond.
Again, in this conversation, what you were saying was you were talking about the fact that Arsenal does not have game changers, and I agree with you. Arsenal's style of play, which means Mikel Arteta is working with players who are not as good as the players that City have, and he's getting the best out of those players and getting the points on the table, which makes Mikel Arteta a genius. I said in this conversation, you will not hear any Arsenal. Now, if you want to talk about what Arsenal fans outside who are bantering are saying in this conversation, it changes dynamics again, because then you're like, oh, they'll say, well, Saka is like, we all know Saka this season has not been on form. Everybody's seen it all this season. I can say Saka has been consistent in the last few seasons, but this season he's been off. He's been totally off, and we all see it. So there's no case for us to say, oh, Saka is like, anybody who says that is only.
Yeah, but so the response is Arteta ruins attacking players, like they say Pep did. So maybe did Arteta take away the creativity from these people? That's what people ask. Is the style of play preventing these players from expressing themselves freely on the pitch? Like the Ezes, like the Odegaards, like Sakas, like these guys. Is it? I don't think so. Because, for example, I think the quality is not there. Because I saw today Madueke had the freedom. Was watching the game today. Madueke had the freedom to dribble, by the way. He's just not good at delivering after he dribbles. He dribbles. He gets past the players. Like today, Madueke got past the players. Right?
Yeah,
and he's even able to
and he scored did he not?
Score a good goal.
So Madueke was good today for you?
No. I didn't say it was good. I said that was a moment.
So what was the reason? What was the reason you made that interjection?
Because again, you said he doesn't have end product in that goal. In that moment, we can see that he knows how to shoot. He just now needs to be able to.
But you know what I'm talking about.
He needs to be able to.
You know what I'm talking. But you knew. Dayo, you knew. Dayo, let me respond to you. But you know, Dayo, let me respond to you. But you know what I was mentioning. When he gets the ball on the right side, he has the license to go at players and dribble to make things happen.
Yes.
Correct? Because today he attempted it probably 10 times or more. Right? That is what I was talking about. The problem is he gets past the players, but he doesn't deliver the ball that will get someone at the end of it. Yet he scored. Brilliant strike. By the way, fantastic.
So what I was saying is, yes, I agree with you. We know that that's Madueke's issue. But we now see that he also knows how to finish. We've seen it in glimpses. Again, in the Champions League when he scored against Bayern Munich, we saw that in the Champions League. He scored for Arsenal. I think we've forgotten that in certain big games, he's also been able to score. What I'm saying is, if he can marry the way he finished shooting today with the way he dribbles, where he can dribble, cut back on his feet, and shoot that way,
yes,
that's our efficiency. Okay. That's all I was driving at. I wasn't saying
pitch wasn't helping.
I wasn't saying that
this is
not true.
This is a response to Tariq. That no one wants to love. That is a stupid narrative. Agenda merchants invented that. We want agenda merchants invented. We want. This is Dayo's point. We want objective football analysis, not stupidity and lies. You all treat as facts. That is the problem. Yeah. The problem is he's not talking about us. He's talking about the media.
Sure. Yeah.
When you get the point. Like he's talking about. I gave the example. On the overlap. Like just that was the best example I've seen. There was Luke and the Arsenal guy that I don't know his name until now. That goes to the overlap. I don't know his name. People that he annoys a lot of people.
Luke, the city.
Luke, the city MCFC lad.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
And the other guy, right? The other guy. That they were having a good discussion, right, about football. They were having a discussion about, oh, the city has a problem with this, Arsenal have a problem with this, blah blah blah. Then comes someone from the audience, they are all audience, right, in the overlap. He said, it doesn't matter because you're going to bottle it anyway because you're a bottle job. And I'm like, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, what a contribution to the conversation. That's a fantastic contribution. Like, what a great contribution to this conversation. It's a great conversation. And the problem is, Jamie Carragher left and the conversation went from being an objective conversation to they have a history of the bottle. So they're definitely going to... It's all banter. So instead of me sitting there and listening to an objective conversation about the problems with both teams, or we have a history of this, or like City going to run in the second half, Pep Guardiola is going to utilize Gay and Savinho, it went to, you always bottle it. Your manager is a bottle job. Your players are scared. Done. Over. Conversation got ruined just because of this. That's it.
That's the problem. That's exactly my point about it. It's like, even when you want to talk about a game, just that one game, in analysis of a game, and say, okay, well, let's look at the City game today, for example, right? City played very well against, in fact, I think the first 15, 20 minutes, I thought Newcastle was the better team. Newcastle looked like the guys who were going to actually do some damage. All of a sudden, City just switched on. It was like a switch went on. As soon as that switch went on, I was like, all right, here it is. It's coming. When City scored their first goal, I was lying down on the floor here in my studio, watching it on my iPad, and I said, City is going to beat these guys like 5-1. Like, I literally predicted a 5-1 win, the way City just started going at Newcastle. That whole midfield for Newcastle, all the changes that Eddie Howe made, nothing was going to work. It was clear. Like, City just looked miles better today. You know, I can have that type of conversation without saying something like, oh, well, see, is it not because of Pep Guardiola, who's your genius? No, like, it doesn't have to, divulge into that type of narrative all the time. So
100%. I agree.
That's why for me, it gets tiring.
Yeah. Big up my man for becoming a member. Really appreciate you becoming a member. Thank you so much. Arsenal had 9 points lead after Sunderland stopped the waffle. Let me respond quickly because I know the dates. On February 7th, after Sunderland, Arsenal had 9 points with an extra game. City had to play Liverpool on February 8th and they beat Liverpool. And now both of them had 25 games played and there were 6 points difference between both teams. So my man,
that's what I said.
Kamaro Mole, stop the waffle.
Yeah, Kamaro Mole
never had enough.
What I said was, at the end of a weekend when all the games were played, there was no point where Arsenal had 9 points ahead. If you just listen to understand and not just to banter and respond, it will make it more easy.
Okay.
But thank you.
I have Tariq's opinion about this. Imagine, Tariq, if you're not an Arsenal fan. Imagine if you're an Arsenal fan and you wake up and you say Arsenal title will have an asterisk next to it.
Well, first of all, I don't understand why would you even say that?
Alan Porgy said that on Talk Sport.
Yeah. I mean, that's a ridiculous statement, right? That's a ridiculous statement. Now, was it because they scored?
Because of the style of play. Because of the style of play.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is, and I said this earlier, right? If I'm an Arsenal fan, I don't care how we win. At the end of the day, especially because, again, they haven't won, and I don't know how many.
They haven't won it. By the way, they haven't won it even yet.
Fair. So it's not over, right? But if I haven't won in, I don't know how, you can tell me how many years it's been since you guys have won the Premier League. But is it 10?
22.
Wow. Okay, so I wouldn't care what these people say.
Dario,
but for somebody else,
did you time out the guy? He said
stop no. Because he keeps on using. He's done it to me on this. He's come to
okay. I see.
He's always saying, I know you're a con man, you're a con, and I'm like, I don't do that.
Okay, I didn't see that. I saw only the last comment. Go ahead. Sorry, Tariq. So my point about this, Tariq, is
that's a ridiculous comment to make. That's a ridiculous comment for anybody to make, and the only way you make it is banter, right? So you don't expect that from a actual journalist.
He said
someone
later,
from the media.
I was just it was a tongue-in-cheek comment. That's what he said.
No, but
you don't expect that.
It's tongue-in-cheek when it's Arsenal. Should we put an asterisk on Leicester's win because they've done it once and then they didn't win it and defend it? Should we put an asterisk on Liverpool's win last season because they've not been able to defend it this season? Like, and they spent 450 million in the summer. Like, why is it that when it's Arsenal, there's all these narratives from the media? And guess what? Once mainstream media pushes it, the fans are going to do it.
Actually, I think it's the other way around, to be honest with you. I think it starts in conversations like this and it's banter or whatever. And then I think the media feels like, oh, well, we have to be saying the same things because this is where people are paying attention. For the mainstream media to keep everybody's focus. They have to become like streamers.
I'll give you something that Simon Jordan said. Simon Jordan said to Emmanuel Petit's face that there is no agenda against Arsenal. Then he turned around.
That's his opinion.
Hold on. He turned around in the same conversation and said, you know that when you say negative things, it sells. And so, of course, I can understand why people say negative things about Arsenal. I'm like, okay. So which is it? Which is it, Mr. Simon Jordan? In that same conversation. So it's like, all right, cool.
I see. Guys, let me read this. I'm an Arsenal fan and we do play horrible football, but I don't care as long as we win. Who cares what the media thinks of how we play if we win? No, you care about.
That's all I've said.
I think people should care.
That's how you shouldn't. Why?
Why should you care? People should care. I'm gonna tell you.
No.
You remember?
No. You should.
I'm gonna tell you why you should care. I'm gonna tell you. Everyone cares, Tariq. When I said that, Pep ruined football. I said that years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's something that people say.
People said we were boring. People said we were boring.
I said people were boring.
Too many passes.
I said that Jack Grealish doesn't contribute anything. He's just a wooden stick on the pitch.
Yep.
And Man City fans cared. Man City fans didn't like it. Man City fans didn't like this. And Man City fans said, why do you say that? You have an agenda. Why do you say these stuff about us? People care. If someone comes to City and if someone comes to you, Tariq, and said, Pep only wins because he has the money.
I've definitely heard that you have an agenda. I'm not. I've heard you have an agenda. I think Hussam is in here. I've heard he's got an agenda. But at the end of the day, I come on here. We have honest conversations, and so it is. People are going to say that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
I say what I believe.
Yeah, well, the honest conversation thing just makes me laugh a lot. But like when I see like content online, and I'm just like, yeah, forget it. There's no point. Sometimes there's no point like interacting with some of that negativity, because again, it's not allowing you to talk about the football. It just takes away. Yeah, it takes away totally from the football. Like Chelsea today, the Chelsea game today, I thought Chelsea did not deserve to win against Wrexham in the spirit of the FA Cup and what the FA Cup stands for. The way Wrexham
did you deserve to win against Mansfield?
Mansfield, no, but I'm saying that's why I said for us we had
just wanted to make sure.
I just said for us. I said 2 moments of excellence for Arsenal was all that it took for us to win that game. That's what I said. Everything else is a negative for me in that game. But just 2 moments of excellence. 2 moments of excellence. I think today it was Wrexham that caused themselves the problem. The second goal that they conceded, it was forced errors. They made errors for the 2 goals. Then they got a red card and went down to 10 men. So for me, I think Wrexham were the one who literally stopped themselves from being able to take the opportunity of beating Chelsea today. Not that Chelsea were a bad team. What's that boy's name? Achimpong played very, very well. Achimpong played well. I really liked what I saw from him. But again, it felt like Wrexham were the team that really wanted it more.
On the side note with that,
and that's it. So
on a side note with that Mansfield game, Mansfield put a lot of Premier League teams to shame today with their performance. I know Arsenal made a lot of changes, but it was still recognised international football's there. And I know it's FA Cup and that, but Mansfield, including my club, put a lot of teams to shame with the way they shape up against Arsenal. Maybe that Hertzer bloke should have been watching what Mansfield did and tried to put it on have his Brighton team do it, because they really took the game. They weren't afraid of Arsenal. They were not afraid of them. They took the game to them, and they were unlucky. Arsenal had a lot of chances in the second half to put the game away. But still,
Mansfield brought the game to that. I think we just played in gear 1. Again, if you remember, Mansfield's goal was a forced error. And who was it? It was Marley Salmon, 16-year-old.
The young kid. Yeah, the young kid.
16-year-old defender. Yeah, these are the mistakes that he will make in his career. And I'm happy that he's learning from this mistake in the FA Cup, which is why I said 2 moments of, you know what, we can do this. The players were just like, we can score, and they took the chances, and that's it. I think we played in year 1, and for all of that Mansfield game, as much as Mansfield played well, kudos to them. But I think, like, if you look at the other games, the Wrexham one, I think Wrexham ruined their own chances. Wrexham was 2-1 up. They didn't have to do what they did. They didn't have to get a red card. That guy didn't have to go in for that tackle. He didn't have to make his team go 1 man down. Like, all of those stupid mistakes, even the first goal, was a ding dong bang, like, the goalkeeper Okonkwo, it was a clearance off the line, hit the goalkeeper in the back.
That was one of the stupidest goals I've seen in my life. But listen, listen, people, I want to thank everyone that is here. Tariq Patterson channel is in the description. Every Tuesday evening, he goes live, of course, at probably 10 or 11 p.m. UK time, 11 p.m. UK time, he goes live. So go and check them out. Tariq Patterson, you'll see him on LB, you'll see him here sometimes on Osam's channel as well. So fantastic as usual. Mr. Dayo, my Texan guy, of course, is here with us. Of course, always a pleasure to have Dayo on the panel with us. Winter Surfer, thank you for joining us. Congratulations, everyone. Tomorrow, I'm only doing a watch-along for Milan versus Inter. Ooh. Of course, that is at 7:45 UK time, people. Appreciate everyone that joined us. This will take you to Sarcasm City TV with, of course, Flawless. I will see you guys later, and we are out of here, people.